bans. Let's see if we have all our map bans out. For sure, though, we know that Haven's going to be that map 1 as we're hopping into that agent select in just a moment here.
That's right. These three maps are going to be really interesting. Well, I think mostly map 3 is going to be interesting. It's going to go Haven, Ascent, and then Split at the very end. These are actually pretty common maps that we see now in the competitive pool. Honestly, maybe I don't think we've ever casted Bind together.
Is that so?
Have we?
It actually might be.
I don't think we have. And we've been together for like what, 3 months now?
No. We have it the nights because I remember the clip of me saying the suck is so good was on Bind.
Oh, you're right. That's when the whole feed
game.
Went down. That's right.
Yeah,
that was our only Bind map.
All right, but let's redirect for a second because we actually do have the server. We do have Have. We have some picks up. Anything unexpected? Not really. Gov's on the Jet. I know with EC5 he was playing the Phoenix a little bit more when they were rocking with Koala Noob, but he's very good on Jet. That's kind of his classic there. Levi, we expect him on the Sova. Same for Tetra there. We are actually rocking with the Astra, which I'm excited to see what Frosty can do with it. These are both kind of puggier rosters, so integrating that Astra can be tough at times. So I'm interested to see what they can do with it. For the other side of things, it's also looking pretty normal. They're going with that classic Omen, Fort Worldwide, and everyone else pretty standard double duelist, Sova and the Cypher.
Yeah, absolutely. What the big thing I'm looking forward to on insert team names here side is we have Governor and we also have the other Phoenix on their side. That would be Tetra. Now, I actually haven't really seen too much of Tetra play before, but knowing back in the past, Governor was really buddy-buddy on the duelist meta with Carouse, and it seems like they've broken up a little bit more. I really want to see that duo come back to Notion and see what happens now with this new iteration of it. But Governor and Levi, I mean, that's like peanut butter and jelly, Mimi. It's hard to separate them.
Yeah, hard to separate them indeed. In terms of getting started here, insert team name here. Almost the one we're substituting in to make it easier. Just as hard, apparently. But they're starting off on that attacker side. The boys up on the defense. And since these are both teams that we don't have huge expectations in terms of who we'd want to predict either way, I think seeing how this pistol goes, how this precedent is going to be set early on will be important. And it looks like the boys are actually getting pretty aggressive towards mid with Levi here.
Yeah, we have to wait and see what happens next, though. It's going to be a bit of a slow beginning to these pistol rounds. All right, there we go. On side of C, Frosty inside the smokes. Looks like it's not going to go quite the way they had hoped. Tetra already, we had some big plans for it. Starts things off with a 3K coming on forwards, but around the corner, it's the Sova that comes on by. 2 left alive now for the attacking side. They've made some progress, but not a whole lot. They have to backtrack completely, but there's a flank on the way. From the back, though, Tillo trying to find a little bit of work against Levi. 4K for Tetra. Might be able to find the ace here. Just let him have it at this point. There it is. The ace to start things off for the Grand Champs.
Fantastic start there up from Tetra. I think that was just because the boys weren't afraid of getting aggressive. They sent Levi out garage down mid immediately. The pressure was on from the beginning, and that kind of split the forces of insert name here between, which allowed, well, Tetra to kind of farm them down. Not much more you can say about that round besides well done to the Phoenix on the boys' side as he's up 5-0 and getting a little ballsy with the rifle buy up to boot. It's an eco round up here for insert name.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you start things off with a pistol ace, I would buy a rifle too. I just hope it doesn't backfire because that could be a huge advantage for the attacking team to bring things back here. But right away, these sheriffs able to make it work. Cowboys galore, it seems. Of course, we do have a little bit more classic action happening as well. It's only going to leave 3 left alive, and we have to keep an eye on this rifle-wielding Phoenix, like you pointed out, Mimi, because if they go down, that's huge for the attackers. Hiding those smokes again, looks like it doesn't work for too much longer, and now that pressure's really on.
Yeah, the running back available, he had those 5 kills, now grabbed an orb. Everyone's so low, just a little bit of damage will do it as they start to sneak into the spike site, planted for long here. And in the post plant, well, they have advantage. The gun's still limited as Tetra finds the first.
Oh, but there's only 2 left alive now. Trying to hold that defuse. Renz having a bit of a tough time. Has it at half. That's a great way to start it off. They still have time to go for it.
Flank.
They try to go for it again. There's no potential, though. The flank, you're completely right. Mimi Reform's able to find Renz. It's down to the rifle. The Phoenix, he bought up so much. He got the ace, but is it enough? No, he's able to find one, but he might have to save. He has to run away.
Oh, that's unlucky. The boys just got a little overzealous. They had the weaponry, and despite having that man disadvantage, I would have liked to see them stay a bit more passive. Realize that we still have this gun advantage. We can chill out, but they kind of went up one at a time. Levi got caught out in that nebula, and the rest of the team kind of scattered from there on out. I liked the coordinated attempt at the end, but I probably would have liked to see them actually attempt to use that run it back, commit something in big time to really get that round, because with the investment, it was important. But now it's back into an even affair, 1-1, and this is where it gets a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Tetra was able to save the Phantom. It would have been a tough situation regardless if they had just gone in, maybe found the kill, maybe not. There's a lot of possibilities that could have happened at the very end, right? But now they catch up with the even eco buy round, or they catch up with the full buy round from their team. They have a little bit more economics too. That could be good for later on to see. But Levi starting things off with the recon bow here. It's not going to do a whole lot. Only barely detects Yoshi. And it's a bit of a default play now. Oh, perhaps not. Aqua's able to send things forward. Not the duelist right now. There's still the Sova. Hope you can hear them coming up in sewers. Friends finding one, gets traded out. And it looks like it might be an A hit.
Yeah, looks like it's on the cards here. Levi trying to work on this flank. If he catches one, could be a good factor in the round. The running back's available, and that is on that one saved-in rifle. He's really your man to watch with that, but same with Levi. If he gets caught off guard here, round could be over off the start. Great dink up onto Worldwide. He's looking for the follow-up, but it won't happen. Tetra, though, one with his rifle, and now they have to consider, do we invest this all? No, because he's taken out by Yoshi, and Frosty finds himself alone, just a frenzy in hand. This feels undoable.
Oh no, it looks like the attackers may have found their way around. They just forced their way onto the site. They did it on A, they did it on C, maybe. And both times they haven't really been contested in these retakes.
Yeah, they really haven't. I think it's just because they were a little timid to use that rifle 2 rounds in a row. They wanted to try and keep onto it if they could, but it led to them playing a bit too fractured. Unfortunate circumstances for the boys, and insert name here are pretty happy about that, but what they might be a little scared to see is that Governor has an op coming into this next round, and we know how much of a menace he can be with that weapon.
Oh, the Governor's about to sign a new treaty. Let's see what happens on side of B window here. Looks like no one's going to force into it. They expect not only with the Astro smokes, the op in play, but maybe now they think he's already rotated off. Oh, this Phoenix Reform might be in for a bad time.
Oh, no.
Governor misses the shots. That was one of the easiest shots you can hit, and the Phoenix able to get away with their life. Has to go for the fast rotate. They got the intel. Now that's going to lead them directly into the grasp of Tetra instead of Garage, but they're going to back off themselves.
Yeah, game's already over because Levi has the Odin up, so they already won. But maybe the tongue-in-cheek's a bit too much because Governor, he's the man with not a rifle, the op in his hands. 2 frags early on, and the Odin aforementioned spamming away as they reassess towards long. 3 men strong as the spike will push in.
He watched Wardell tonight with that op. That same exact angle, the dropping shot, so nice. Leviathan, though, menace with the op. No matter what map he's on, he's able to mow down people like Blades of Grass. The pop shots, though, directly into her bullets. One left alive, gets the trade. Oh, we have to see what happens with Aqua now. Around the corner, finds one. Wow, headshot came strong. But Ren's hiding in the smoke, not for much longer. Goes down to the depths, 6 feet under. Okay.
Getting a little interesting now because it feels like the rounds that shouldn't be won by insert name here are, remember that double entry by Governor with the op, start things off on the strong footing there in the Odin 2 from Levi. It all should have been enough. It really should have been, but the boys just playing fractured. This is the same thing we saw in that anti-eco round where they split up a little too much, allow these duels to be isolated and isolate the duels. Well, Aqua, he sure as hell will do so, wins that round, a great clutch up for the man, and that also gifts him his ultimate. So lots of ults to work with into this next round as the boys, reeling on an eco, look to fight for this A-long control.
So Mimi, it's been about 4 rounds now since we saw the buy-up with the Phoenix Phantom. I don't really think it did a whole lot of an impact.
Did nothing. It almost hurt them more because it set the economy on the wrong foot.
Luckily, though, their economy is now a little bit more evened out, and we're saying that on a pistol round, you know, or eco round, so it's not the best in the world, but at least it wasn't long term. They were able to correct it fairly early, but still, those are rounds that they should have won, even with that advantage.
Yeah, those are kind of those early warning signs that you get a little worried about for a team. They're losing rounds like that. That just gets sloppy. And we talk about this a lot here at VCS. It's a long day for these guys. Really a lot of playing. Yeah. They're used to it because they've played it before, but still always a factor. And on the entry, it's a double frag in for insert name here. And the remainder of the boys trying to fight in with just the sheriffs. It really shouldn't be too doable. Tetra maybe looking to recover a weapon here. Get a little bit of damage in, but now the neural theft completely shows their positions, and they'll be forced to fall away for the time being.
Little surprised that the neural theft was used on an eco round against Ren's and Tetra, but I mean, you know, if it works, it works, I guess. Not really much of a benefit either way. They go down, they still have 3 ults to use. Ren's kind of just holding an angle, waiting for Yoshi to maybe pop up. Tetra could go for the flank here, maybe find Yoshi, but really other than that, you have to look for exits.
Yeah, not too much left in this round that they can think about, and Smart on insert name here. They're not even going to hunt for these frags. They have no real reason to. Doesn't matter. They can keep these sheriffs. They might even just look to die to the spike to keep the money in tight order. I like insert names here as kind of executes thus far. They've worked well to just move quickly in, find their positioning, get those post plants, and it's just off of kind of great coordination on the entries. They just get the jet dash in. Normally a Silver Recon to follow. Pretty standard stuff, but it's working well, and it's kind of overwhelming the boys. And part of that might be that they're not really committing to playing the retake quite yet. It's kind of a half and half after they lose normally a couple on the site.
Yeah, it really feels like the boys are just dedicated to finding those opening picks, and they've struggled to find that too. We saw Governor top of Gong last round, struggling to find the shot against the Phoenix on the other side. Reformed was able to get away with their life, and that was a huge stranglehold for the round, being able to still flash onto the site.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what is the boys' call here? They're trying to get a little bit aggressive, find this control towards Long Abe. They've done this a couple times now, and it's in part because of that astro conditioning with the star, but Levi, through the garage door, picks up a great entry, but we have seen them lose these rounds before. But I like the call there. Use the gravity well, keep him at bay, but Yoshi, he's not deterred. Pushing in with the blind, but look at this utility usage. It's really great to keep him back, and the updraft outside the cage for Renz to find two on the site. Now Tillo trying to rotate back in, make the same impact that his fellow Cypher had, but it's 4 left alive, strong on this retake. If Tillo falls here, it's huge, but no, he finds Levi. Now worldwide, Tillo, they can work together here. Consider a rotate towards the A site as they find themselves 2v3 with plenty of time on the clock, Max.
Yeah, Mimi. 2 left alive for insert name. They have to release the full power of the as developed to make sure that they can get this to work. They're already up 3 rounds, which is really nice, but rotating to A might be a little tough with Governor already on the site. They themselves inside the link, not quite heaven. Looking for that long shot, but he's going to expose himself a little bit more. But it seems like, though, the plan's actually going to go back of B. Smokes have already gone down. Both sides surrounded. Frosty might be able to make their way in, but they have to wait for that smoke to dissipate. Governor, though, with the quick cop shot's not going to connect whatsoever. Tillo's able to find it first, but one walks able to run it back. They're able to trade it out. Tillo's now the last one alive. They know approximately where he is. Going for a bit of a rotate here. Trying to maybe find that diffuser from the back. Goes for the pre-fire. No, it's already at half. What are you doing? Oh, no. That's so good for the boys.
Yeah, I really like to try there, though. Route all the way around to get that frag. If the Omen smoke was up just a little bit longer, he probably would have had the time to turn, deliver, fight, maybe give a chance in that clutch. But regardless, the boys pick up the round, but it was another kind of nerve-wracking one for them. I don't think it should have really gotten that close. They got a little bit too split up. That led to some one-on-ones being isolated. However, they do stabilize, stem the bleeding, pick up a second round. It is that Haven defensive side, so we don't expect them to go into this half with a big advantage, but they still need to keep this a close affair, and thus far, they look like they might be able to do that.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm a little confused on what Governor was trying to accomplish. You normally would go up heaven and try to find those shots. That would have been a quicker rotate going down too, but we just didn't see that happen. But we do see Aqua though with the Sova drone piercing on in. Not gonna find a whole lot of success. In fact, the Tripwire is actually gonna find it instead. There's 3 different bodies inside, but Leviathan doesn't know. Hiding behind, using the smoke, they're able to get themselves away. Recon Bolt's gonna discover them, finds 1, maybe make it 2, 1 down below. This is a tough ask for Levi or Aqua. Not going to connect too much just yet. In fact, the Hunter's Fury going to miss as well, but that's full site control.
Yeah, lots to work with. They still hold down this window position. If Worldwide isn't cleared out here, he could go big. There's one in close to support. Hunter's Fury up and the Cypher falls. So too does Gov. There's a tag onto Reform, but does it matter? Now it's a 3-on-3. Spike plant down. It's an op on the retake. This is going to be a scary one. A tough situation for the boys to be in.
Yeah, and those ops are always scary, but Tetra from the back's able to find 1, make it 2. Firewall goes on by. That's going to wipe away the entire squad. They bring it back yet another round, and now it's a 1-point differential.
Great lurk up there from Tetra. We saw him kind of work towards that A-long control that he does practically every round, but from there, this time he decided to commit to that flank. Works out really handily for him. And now a bit of momentum starts to get rolling for the boys. They're on to 3. They keep that op crucially in their hands. So I like this momentum shift. They're rectifying their mistakes they were making just a tad bit earlier. And now, looking a bit forward into this next round, there should still be an all right buy up, but if the momentum isn't regained by insert name here soon, they will be down on that reset.
We've been seeing a lot on Haven recently in competitive matches. People on the op just struggling. Remember on Rise, we saw Showtime struggle? Shanks did a great job. But Governor here is also struggling quite a bit as well. Levi's going to go for that early recon bolt again. It's not going to have the same amount of luck as he did on side of the Odin, but he's going to back off immediately. Governor looking for that same usual B window spot. Not going to find a whole lot, though. Everyone's outside of haystacks. They could rotate over. Could be a pop flash curveball that could blind him as well, but it seems like everyone kind of just corralling themselves around. Might go for an A rotate.
It's a possibility here. They're working towards the A site here. There is tripwires available that'll give the information. That's why they feel confident to keep this stack towards B and C. And now seeing that tag, they might further commit into it. Governor holding the line for the cross. They find the lurker here. It's huge, but if we glance at that mini-map, we see towards the A site, this execution starting to come out, and that's crucial that Frosty misses the recon dart, forces him to fall away, play retake, but here comes the run it back into the site.
Oh, but let's see what the run it back can do. Doesn't actually do much.
Never mind.
Some good intel. The spike carrier was the omen. They don't have any idea it was the omen, but now they have an approximate idea about where the plant's going to go. Gravity Well's going to trap Worldwide a little bit more. He's able to escape into hell. Tilla with the flank, though, is going to be gigantic if they get stalled just enough. Worldwide's able to find one, trades out the op wielder. Here comes that Cypher. Spy versus spy, sneaking on in. May be able to find one. No, he's evading everybody. He's able to find one, maybe make it two, finds it instead, tries to take down the diffuser, but no, he's biding his time. He waits out a little bit longer, they play in pace, but Levi doesn't care. He's gonna strike him down.
I like the retake there. They didn't even really use the Phoenix ult for kind of a coordinated effort, but what it did do was it kept the pressure up. It meant that there was never a comfortable post-plant position. Everyone felt like kind of unsafe to back off the site, which would have made that post-plant a lot harder to retake. So I like that there. Always good to see people kind of keeping on the game, keeping the pressure up, not giving their opponent the space to play around, because as soon as you lose the pacing, lose control of the pacing of the game, that's when you can really start to have that momentum swing around you.
It's all about momentum, Mimi. It's all about momentum. I don't think players give that enough credit.
Yeah, it's interesting, definitely, but they are going for a bit more of a default this time, but early on, works out well as Aqua finds a frag. They're going to start to try and aggress here, look for a refrag in as Tillo's sneaking up. This is really dangerous, but it works up. Now he can throw that hat down, and this will be the call for rotations. They see that C site is clear, and the execution will come out, but no, Spike's actually going to hell on A. It's just a bait, though. Canceled out, C site compromised, so it's down to another retake for the boys.
That's going to be so hard for these split side retakes. Leviathan, though, with that Odin again, always guaranteed for these two. We have to see if that keeps on going. Teleport underway. Shotgun's able to find another one through the wall. Makes it work. Levi and the Odin. It's another duelist. There's a triple duelist comp, but no, from the Sova drone gets sniped out of the sky from Garage. Frosty now has to go for the rotate themselves. A 2v3. We've seen this story happen before. Frosty, it's going to end the same way. A 1v3. Two of the Cyber Kids could try to find it, but it seems like it might be too little too late for a retake.
Yeah, possibility in this clutch here. He has the wall, but he needs a frag early on. Look at that off angle from Aqua. It's going to be really hard to contend with.
Yeah, not much they can really do, but they're still going to try. Here's one. The footsteps. The pre-fire misses. Able to find it instead. Make it a 1v2. Around the corner. Oh, headshot instead. Comes out from Tillo. Tillo has been nasty on these rotates.
Yeah, he really has. Lurk game's been on point. A couple rounds ago, we saw him work up, almost win it out in that clutch. He does it again to close things out strongly for insert name here. So good round out from them as we start to get into the later throws of this first half of play here on Haven. This ult economy is going to start to become a fickle matter. We've already seen a couple of those rounds where we kind of throw everything at it. So it's kind of split up here. Just that run it back in the works for insert name here. But with how explosive they've liked to take these pushes, I think it's definitely going to help them out to just get in a site quickly, work off of that. But Governor, too, looks to be considering some aggression towards Garage as his teammates, too, are taking that A long control yet again.
Oh, he's got to ratify some kills right now. Tillo goes down. The rotate master already underway. It's going to be these attackers now having to go for a linear approach, it seems. Reform's just pushing up. He has to run it back, but no, it's going to go down. Plant underway of B. Able to find one on the flank. No flanks anymore. A 3v2. These attackers, they have built up so much, but there's only one left alive. That's going to be down to this Omen. He's peeked out in the front. He's not able to find either shot. It's going to be no, a 5v5 point even.
Yeah, back up to that even odds there. Notice how practically every round we've seen a push down A long. I don't think it's been contested once. The boys keep doing it. It keeps working because even if they just have the information, that's great. And then in a couple rounds, we see them actually push up, get aggressive. We saw the flank come into big time play there for that boy Tetra. I mean, talking about Tetra a little bit more, he's having an absolute banger of a game right now, Max.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Mimi. I mean, I feel like win or lose for both teams, everyone is really putting in the consistent work that they need. I want to highlight Levi again for a moment because Levi consistently, since the beginning of his competitive career in Valorant, has always picked Sova, always picked either the Ares or the Odin. And again, it's like another duelist. They play like no other Sova I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's interesting. Look at this Hunter's Fury, though. It's just off that dart. Levi looking for a tag. He actually converts the kill onto Aqua. Yeah. So is our duelist now. You heard it here first, folks. But I do love the way that Levi does play this character. I mean, we practically always see him on it. He knows how to play it just oh so well. But as we refocus on Worldwide, he's stinking up, trying to make this clutch a possibility. But as we're jabbering away, it is really just a perfect round from the boys. After those 2 initial picks, they kind of just stumbled away, really fractured, and nothing good's ever going to come of that.
We kind of did harp on the boys a little bit more too for not really being able to find those retakes for quite a while, but almost every single round they've won maybe have been diffuses when they've been able to win them. The thing is though, this last round, except for the pistols, it was the first time they actually won it by raw gunfights.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, last round of the half, I mean, I think the difference we might see here between like a 7-5, 6-6, it's not huge, but it still could be impactful. It kind of changes how important that pistol round is. Here.
Get out of my way.
Are you okay?
Excuse me, sorry about that. My cat actually got caught like in a wire, but that's dealt with now. So
Wait.
This
is the perfect time to mention it. You know how there's Rens on one of the teams?
Uh-huh.
I have a cat named Ren.
Okay, perfect. But let's talk about the round because that's pretty important here. Two frags up for the attackers. We see Frosty on this late lurk up through mid. Spike will come down courtesy of Yoshi. Now Ren's looking for a fight early on. He still has this late Cypher cam, but Yoshi finds his position. The jump peek up, connects on the frags with the Blade Storms. And Frosty not going to do anything else. So it is as close as could be. 6-6.5 there, Max.
Yeah, 6-6, really important to see. Both of these teams really seem to have found each other and how they want to maneuver themselves, especially on these rotates going to the end of the first half. We saw a lot of diffuses coming out from the boys towards the end of the first half, but we did see some adaptability come through mid-round for both teams. We saw a huge flanking game from both teams, Mimi, especially Tillo, but he started getting shut down towards the end, and I think that was a huge way of leverage for the boys to bring it back a little bit more.
Yeah, it really was. Now, this pistol round, we see that it is a pretty good stack up for the boys, looking to just take things quickly onto the A site here. Let's see, how are they using this Cypher? I think I like the way that both these teams have played it. We kind of saw that classic A setup for the boys' side, and now it's kind of that split, allowing those further rotations. So look at the gravity well used early on into this A hit as they're trying to work their way into the split here.
Oh, but Tetra doesn't care. He got an ace on the last pistol round. Let's see if he can make magic happen twice. It seems like Yoshi, well aware of the Phoenix, gonna back off early on. Doesn't want to take the risk, but Governor's actually gonna come up from the right, try to find one instead. He finds a whole barrage of bullets that happen against him instead. Trade City, a war zone galore all over A. Mostly the feed going to the favor of Insert Name. And that's gonna be the entire roster going down on the side of, the boys. And again, a very small lead coming out from Insert.
Yeah, Insert Name here, they're really quick on those retakes, and I don't even know if I want to call it a retake because they never really conceded the site. That information early on from the Sova dart allowed them to practically all be running instantaneously over, so the conversion will follow. I think at this point now they're 2 for 2, or no. It was a trade back and forth for the pistol round, so that point is mute, but there's this buy up. Looking good for a possible conversion here, as it is just those classics in hand for the boys.
I really want to see how these buy-ups are going to go, because remember, Tetra on the buy-up got the ace, brought out a Phantom, and it didn't do anything. We're not going to see this happen again, so I'm wondering, economically on both teams, is it going to be the same result, or maybe the Phantom was the reason why they lost? I think switching sides, seeing the two different ways of going about it might change the differences, but with Governor already going down, a double from Yoshi, that's going to be a huge way to start things off. Again, a huge possible lead for Insert Name. But Levi on the other side here, trying to make their way in. Tillo and company shutting everyone down. It's only down the Frosty on site with the spike in hand, picks up a rogue judge. And they're trying to go for the flank, but the entire army's coming in here. They have the intel, they have the positioning. They're surrounded, they go down.
Conversion up for Insert Name here. Good judge play there to be just contesting short, getting very aggressive. It's all good use of the jet dash to just get the hell out of dodge, keep ourselves alive, and keep the scoreline in the favor of Insert Name here. They're up 2 rounds at this point as a buy response back in for the boys. And I don't know. I guess what is the prompt here for the boys on this attacker side? We saw them work okay on the retakes. It was kind of a mixed bag. So I feel like they play a default. They give their players time to work off. They have people like Gov. They have people like Tetra who can all really do big work, but they haven't really had the chances to kind of have those individual pop-off moments too much just yet. So I'd love to see them just take their time, use those individuals, get some picks, find this map control, especially in a round that's going to be so crucial for them to convert.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Most of these rounds we've seen, the only two we've seen in the second half, we saw everyone on the boys just kind of funnel into a very small corridor, and that's why Yoshi was able to start things off with a double kill last round. If we see them play that default, play slow, methodical, maybe even go for a gigantic rotate, they could have a really good chance of being able to deny a complete retake.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, definitely a chance here. Drones up through mid, looking for some information onto Tillo. Tucked in close in the backside. The Spike working towards C long. There's two now here to contest. It's just the lighter by. Those Spectres trying to do some work. Any kill here is great. They'll get one, actually a second as well. That's the Marshal chiming in. The response now coming back. It's 3 across the board for that attacking side of the boys as they are comfortably in control of this site, however, worldwide. Quickly working back in. Has that paranoia up. It'll show 2, and the Blades up and over. Find a couple picks in the closure as well with the Bulldog. Out of nowhere, that paranoia. Perfect, Max.
Perfect synergy coming out. We had the paranoia go down, the double updraft coming out from the Jet, being able to sync up so perfectly well in getting those final triple kills. That was so important. That was the only time we have seen the boys not only get a plant down in the second half, but it was the only time they came in with a person advantage, and it got melted away by a single play from 2 very synergized members.
Yeah, that coordination, really nice, really perfect. And we talked about the implications of that round. That means that the buy is going to be reset a little bit for that of the boys. It really probably would have been one that they wanted on paper to get down, but unfortunately that momentum quelled and is continuing to build here for insert name as Tillo kind of changing his setup a little bit again here, a bit more passive trip in the garage. This looks to be a full mid take. They want the spike down. That's their win condition here.
Curveball goes by, running back caught in the webs of a Cypher trap. Tetra tries to make their way in. They get shot down immediately, but the double intel from A-Link is going to be so important. The camera in the back is going to detect the Jet. Backs off, can't penetrate those walls. Tillo and company making them force off away. They have to go for garage now. It's the secondary option. Could be easy for the rotates. They know exactly where they're going to be. They're not being quiet about it at all. And there you go. The entryway going now down. The form dropping down, able to find one. Trying to find those pop shots. Molly's going to do so much damage. They fall themselves. It's a 3v3. No one's getting let up at all. But inside of garage, Tetra's able to find Tillo. So much damage going underway. Last one alive now again. Going to be Frosty. Trying to hold down the 4, brings it to a 1v1, having the health advantage, having the ult, gets the triple, and clutches up around.
Hey, people, come on now.
Really nice job there out from Frosty. These clutches across the board, that seems to be so many of the rounds that the boys are winning. It's in the clutch situations when they get it down to letting those individuals have the moment. So I want to call back to my earlier point. I want to see them slow it down a little bit. Play that default, play those picks, work off of it, because I think that insert name here might get antsy if the boys start to play a bit slower. They might push up. That might be punishable. We'll have to see how things go into this next one.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, on the side of the boys, that's what they're really hoping have happened. We saw even Yoshi themselves with that double kill on the Judge. They pushed up quite a bit. Getting a little antsy, you're completely right. Are able to find one. Levi's going to go down. Almost all the intel on the boys' side already nullified 10 seconds into the round. Still have a Cypher. It's going to be hard not to use for denial of flanks. But Tillo rotating around, tries to find maybe some intel, pop shots. They're playing it slow again, Mimi, and I think B's not going to be the answer.
I didn't think people actually owned the Wasteland skins. Like, Tetra spent real world money on that.
You know who really likes the Wasteland skin?
Shroud.
Shroud.
All right, we're not gonna let you go off about how much you love Shroud, because it's a 4-on-5 in this round. Run-it-backs available. I feel like the kind of what we've seen from the run-it-backs thus far has been a bit lackluster. They've been a bit of a space creator, but especially for the boys, it was never really a big X factor. However, I want to see what insert name here decides to do with it, especially on the retake, because I also have the Hunter's Fury. That retake potential great, and well, this is kind of a slower play being held. Look at the pushes. There's an op towards C long. They're pushed up A. They know that this has to be B or garage, and the execute will come out with that run it back.
Oh, and I love Tillo's camera, but it only does so much. Before he's able to find one, Nope, never mind there. Wipe out the entire squad all over the site. Double digits now for map 1 going to the favor of insert name here. But that was a slow play. That should have worked well in the favor of the boys, Mimi. But it seems like they stalled out a little too long. They had the intel against them and they never punished it.
Yeah, intel game, that's all that was. They've pushed up A long practically I mean, it was the same in that first half. The boys did it as well, but they just never were able to capitalize. But this time, insert name here, they're using that information to stack towards the B site, towards that garage area, be super ready for that push. And I mean, it just gets shut down before it can even get started. This needs to be fixed very, very quickly. And the scary factor is that Yoshi has an op. He's feeling it. He's making aggressive plays. It might just catch the head of the Astra. He will. Frosty, goodbye. Just gets deleted. But now the Hunter's Fury up, and he's missing all the necessary shots. Gov has the Blade Storm, wants to do something for their team, make an impact, but Yoshi's on the scene again to nullify that cause, to nullify that chance. And the boys, they're left reeling, just 3 members left alive, and practically all map control is lost, is reformed. Pushed up towards mid here. He might catch the cross. He at least hears them, ready for the second, but Tetra so much faster on the shot. Now a 3-on-3, the information all known. This has to be an A push, but no. They're calming down, playing this time, working off of it. The boys know how crucial this round is, Max.
First of all, what a fantastic shot coming out from Yoshi. That was insane. But we also see a bit of a sneaky sneak going on, a stealthy play, rotate around to C. Yoshi, though, that off-wielder, getting the only 2 bodies so far against the team. Already still waiting on C site. They're about to reach into her grasp, her gaze. Might have to see what happens next. The recon bolt's going to give it away. She's prepped up and ready. Finds one, a triple kill going against both duelists so far. Oh, a simple Vandal shot's going to take down Yoshi at the 2v2. Double Cypher in play. Both have ults. They could get the information game. They know how pivotal this round can be. Spike goes down. Time is more limited. Worldwide going in for the flank, but it's already prepped up by Levi, but they rotated just in time. He's going to go unnoticed for at least a little bit longer. The Cypher cam in play. They can hide just a tiny bit longer. Worldwide's able to find Levi, but what about the last one? Renz now holding for the cross. He's waiting for one to come on by from the left, but there's one to the right to deal with. He misses the shot on Worldwide, able to clear out the site by themselves. That's going to be so huge. And Yoshi, they put in so much work, Mimi. Yeah. All for them to lose the round.
They really did. They got it down to the wire there. I like the attempt, slow things down, wait for the aggression, play off of it, but it didn't work. And it was just the op. The op show for a second, they even recover it, are going to get that back into Yoshi's hands. And when you cannot shut down a Jet that's just playing like that, getting aggressive, feeling that confidence brewing, normally we talk about Governor as that person, but he's having a really rough game right now. I don't want to hark on him too much, but 4-17 on your Jet, it's tough because that's your space creator, not really able to find that usual impact. And I think kind of dealing with not being able to find that space to the same extent has been an issue. But look at this, the gravity well, perfect. They're gonna push off of it, but blind. It doesn't matter for Yoshi. He's still gonna find that shot. This man is unstoppable.
Keep in mind, too, you can't tell from the observer feed, but Yoshi was blind for that shot and a gravity well. All of that can disrupt how you aim with an op, no less. And they find a second one on top of it. Both duels completely gone now for the boys. They may have to go exactly what they did last round and go for the sneaky side up C, but you can already see one. It's Worldwide again, holding it down, waiting to see if that happens to be the case again. Frosty, though, pushed up a little bit more. It seems like the entirety of the boys are stalled out.
Yeah, oh, did the drone see him? I'm not sure. I think it at least saw the Cypher, though. So let's say here, you see, they're considering that rotation to bring Yoshi onto the scene, but this might be a misread because they're re-attacking A. Only 2 here to greet them, but Aqua has the jump peak. They'll know this information very early on, especially if this recon hits for the tags. And it will. Now that's crossed over. Rotations can come in. This is crucial, but they lose the opener. However, the trade good from Renz. He needs at least one more here, possibly a second before they can even get on the site. But they're going to decide to dive back, reassess, but Worldwide, he's in the perfect spot here, Max. If he finds just one of these kills, it's great, but they're not even going to him. This is even better. He can shut down the plant. These players so pinched, trapped in, no options. They need to fight. They need to do it well.
Oh, this is not a great place to be, and the dink goes down against Levi. Last one alive now. Brain damage, it seems, on Masova, but no, he's able to find one instead. Instantly traded out. Match point now for the side of insert name here.
Paranoias have been on point for Worldwide. I want to give him props for that. I can think of that was probably a second one. I can think of maybe 3 rounds where he's had that impact for kind of a really, really crucial final kill. And I'm sure more that we didn't even notice setting up his team. You always like to see those support players really finding their stride, really being shown how much they're helping the team out. So good props to him. But if we look more generally at the match right now, I mean, the boys, it's just, they're trying to slow things down, but it's almost a little scared. It's not that normal aggression. It's not that normal fragging power. And when you're not hitting that, when you're not in control, especially on your attacker side, it's so rough. But they're trying to run it back, trying for something. But the spam's so good. Now a dash up for Gov, a desperate attempt, but it doesn't even matter that he's running because 2 frags convert for insert name here. And the boys, again, stuck reeling at a huge man disadvantage, trapped into long. Now they'll push up some information, maybe a pick, but the tag good onto Frosty. Now a swing out, the Hunter's Fury to follow his reform. Finds all of Levi's friends. He's left to his own devices, looking for something, but the flank is up. Levi, though, fights out, looking for something else. Deletes one. That's the Phoenix gone. Worldwide could die here from the shock, maybe, but no, the swing's up from Levi. He could do this now. 1-on-3, just 56 HP, but he doesn't have the spike. Needs to go. Needs to go back in here. Go for something. Yoshi holding with the op. An Odin 2, practically insurmountable odds. And he's trying to jiggle this on the peak. Now he's known the swing out the committal, but the Classic will do it as it's 13-7. An insert name here. They're going to win that first map.
Holy, I mean, anything that the boys tried to bring out was instantly shut down by insert name here. Whether it be positioning, whether it be speed, momentum, all of it shut down without a problem. It felt at so many different times, especially that second half. Towards the end of the first, it was looking really good for the boys. They had that even 6-6, but they only won 1 round in that second half.
Yeah, I mean, they just never were able to control the pace of the match after that side switch. There was always the aggression up from someone, be it Tilla, be it Yoshi, be it even Reform. There was always someone in their face, in the lines. It felt like practically every round they were at a man disadvantage, working off of that. And they will go down 1-0 in the series, but this is, of course, the best of 3. So the boys, they're not out of this yet, but we will have to find out if they can reply, maybe have a chance at that title after this break.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the grand finals of VCS week number 51. We saw Insert Name take a dominant victory over the boys in a very, very hotly contested Haven, or, well, Mimi, it was hotly contested until we got to the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it fell apart there. They just started playing a little bit more passive. They weren't their normal kind of aggressive, puggy, having fun selves, and that energy felt sapped out of them, and well, the map was sapped out of them too. However, we do have another map on the table, and that's Ascent, and I think we actually have a really good chance for the boys to come back into this, but there's two X factors that I want to talk about as the main possibilities for them to come back in. First of all, let Levi do Levi things on the Sova, because I think this is his best map. We've seen him play on it a lot. He's always on the Sova. He's crazy at it. I doubt we'll see him pick up something other than the Odin if he can avoid it at all costs. And the second thing is having Governor be a little bit more on point. I feel like Governor was kind of having a struggle in that first game. I remember a time where he was like 4-17. Normally he's one of those guys who we talk about at the top of the board. And well, I mean, I don't think we can at all blame him in entirety or even in like a huge part for it. But when you have someone who's oftentimes that star not really putting up their usual performance, it can be tough for a team to work around. So I think those are our things to watch out for. We need Gov to wake up, get himself back into that server in full force, and Levi to do the same. But for the side of Insert Name here, if they just keep up what they were doing, just kind of that unprecedented aggression, not letting there be any not letting there be any spoils for the boys to work with, that's going to just be an easy way for them to work this 2-0. But we definitely could see a response. We definitely could see a 1-1 scoreline here.
What I'm wondering most, I think, going into this is whether or not Insert Name here is going to go for a heavy flank game again. We saw Tillo go for a gigantic flank game when they were on the defense as a Cypher, and I feel like Haven allowed that flexibility just a tiny bit more. But with KJ, you have to rely on your utility being at a certain distance of it all. And sure, you do have the turret to spot out flankers in the back. If you want to go for the roaming game yourself, it's a huge struggle to do that with this agent. So I'm wondering if we're going to see a little bit more of a static sentinel play coming out from not just Tillo, but from both teams, or maybe it's going to be a much more of a duelist-heavy game.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. It did feel like that was kind of one of the big things setting the pace in that first match, especially over on Haven. But Now, looking into this one, it is on that defensive side. We'll be starting off with insert name here, and the boys on the attacker side. They struggled on their attacker side last time. I want to see them get at least 4 or 5 rounds here, but look at the setup. There's a paranoia there, and two duelists ready to run things down. Aggressive into A main off the rip here.
Oh, we're getting ready to rumble Mimi. Let's see what happens now. Reformed already backing off, though. Some tree control. No one's going to be on catwalk, of course, this early on, but it seems like B might be the way to go. They already know from the B-side defenders there is some trouble going on this way, but it was all a giant bait. Look at that. The majority of the team caravanning their way into A, and there's still time to rotate back very quickly, but they fell for it right off the rip. And now look at this. They're not even going to go for A. They're going to go into trees. They're going to completely confuse insert name.
They have no idea of the full case, but what are they doing? They've actually rotated all the way through A, conceded it, are going for the fight mid, now worldwide, alone in the middle of the map, taken care of, and they're going back into A. They just wanted a man advantage. Maybe it's an interesting call, but it seems to be working out, at least thus far. Tidlow in heaven, Ren's tapping the spike, ready for a fight, but the rest of them aren't. Backs, turns, shot found, but the trade good from Tetra. It's a 3v3 now, post-plant positioning, and plenty of time to find it, as a whole onslaught approaches from the tree room. However, look at Levi Max already up on this flank, could go absolutely massive as he has the trigger discipline to start directly behind, a gun in your head as Aqua falls and the trades on the site. Leave just Reformed left alive. He has HP, but he peeks into 2 and loses his head. The boys, they come back strong as they take the pistol, but what was that round?
What a very bizarre round, Mimi. We saw the majority, or I guess 3 of the 3/5, I suppose, of the boys make their way into A and just stand still for quite a while. They did see Reform peek out a tiny bit more. I don't think Reform saw them back, made sure to wait a while. And when the rotates came on by from insert name, they conceded A, like you mentioned. They went their way to B, or at least started to. And that would have been great to go for the early plan and have the site in their control. But the boys, instead, they went for tree. They almost went for CT spawn. They went for mid. And they gave up all the majority of the control they had and still won the round.
Yeah, I mean, I think they knew they needed a fight. They didn't want to allow an advantage retake, and I respect the call. I thought it was a little interesting, but it obviously works out in their favor there. I'm interested to hear who's calling for insert name, or I'm sorry, for the boys rather, because I know that in some of the previous EV5 rosters, I think Levi's done it occasionally, but not always. It kind of swaps around with those, so I don't know who's doing that right now, but I do like it. So, wherever you are, good job. And now, focusing back on the round here, it's his lighter buy. Tillow's in a ratty angle here at logs. Maybe he'll be good for one if the drone doesn't clear him, and it doesn't look like it will. Great bait in. That's ballsy with the shorty. And the jet smoke covers Tillow. Should be good for at least 1 frag here, maybe more. 1 ready, and oh no, he doesn't even get 1. Ren's for 2 as Yoshi on the site falls as well. Leaves it to worldwide, but look how low these players are, too. Just 1 shot, even with that classic. His biggest threat is that opponent Astra.
1 left alive now. It's going to be worldwide, trying to make their way down, Mimi. It seems like a Herculean task to bring this back. He has to go down the right side stairs. He gets detected no matter what. 3 different angles looking at him. A pinch comes by. 3K from Frosty. That's 2 in a row. And they're coming off hot off the heels of winning on Haven pretty defiantly as well. Things are not looking good for insert name.
Yeah. And that was, of course, insert name who picked up the map, right? Into that last one. And they are just down the 2 rounds, so it's all right. Stuff happens. Now they do have a bit of a better buy into things. I want to see where the boys are going to take this. They haven't really worked much mid-control in these previous rounds. I doubt we'll see it this time because we do see that lighter buy up, likely looking for something quick, something they can pop out with those SMGs. Start that snowball rolling in the possibility of upgrading weaponry. It actually does look like they're trying to consider this catwalk as a position, as Reformed smoked off completely by that nebula.
There's no one on A.
Nothing for information, and you're absolutely right. Just these 2 players in main, but they will start to sneak their way back over, suspicious of the cat push.
I don't know if they heard the audio cues of cat, but they're still going to peek it regardless. Worldwide looking for those early shots. The Governor leading the way in. They're able to find the opening. Pick no Tillo, and all the other Sentinels go down. The controller of the Omen gone. 3 left alive now. Rotating their way over. We have to see what happens next. But look at this. They're all spread out on the side of the insert name here. They have to push up. They have to find out what they can do. But Levi, they're just holding down the fort. They're playing this super slow for the retake, but there's not a whole lot of time for them to really maneuver and do a whole lot of action. Levi, though, is waiting for that recon bolt to come on by, detect everyone onto the site, but it's not going to happen just yet. Curious to see.
This is just a saved call. They're out of here. Game time.
I mean, you've already won 2 rounds. Why waste the weaponry you've already had, right? You bought up.
Yeah. I like the call. Had to reinvest a little bit, hold on to those. I don't think there's much of a reason for the boys to hunt here. They just also are looking to keep these weapons in the bank. Nothing more we should really have to say about this round. Except for the fact, Max, that I don't know how I feel about how Insert Name here are playing this A site. It feels kind of fractured, but they're actually hunting here. Yoshi, tough dig, but it's a spray down. Practically everyone hits the floor. Who survives? 2 on the defense, 1 on the attack. I actually didn't expect them to go for the hunt there. And let's see, what's that going to do for their economy? I mean, it kind of keeps it on the teetering edge. They won that round, but some players down to 1K. Light armor up for Gov. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, we see A conceded a lot. We do see the early aggression coming out from Tillo and Worldwide. And while that's a great idea in theory, they have the one way to work with there. Tillo and Omen going down immediately, you lose down your Sentinel utility, you lose your Smoke utility, and while you still kind of have a little bit of that with your remaining people on Insert Name as well, it's kind of the budget version. You lose out on the high quality dark covers, you lose down on the KJ turret. But here we go again, the early rush comes into A yet again, the Molly in hand, gonna try to stall out this Phoenix a little bit more, but it's a run it back, they can use it, they can get all that intel, they break open the glass as well. Yoshi's still in mid. Looking to see if they can divide the side a tiny bit more. The KJ unaccounted for still on B side. But look at this play potential coming out by Governors up top. Goes back down below. The Tillo is completely gone yet again. Renz finds Yoshi from mid. This is huge. And it looks like Insert Name completely dissolves again.
Yeah, they even have that KJ ult. It break glass in case of emergency, but emergency might not happen quite yet because Worldwide only good for 1, but that's a possibility of a double. Still, just only finding a single frag. Worldwide in the backside. He needs crisp, clean shots if he wants to do it. The TP into the smoke, a desperate attempt as he taps on the spike. But the shock dart from Leviathan finishes him off. This is very strong out of the boys. It seems like they were able to reset, Max.
Yeah, it seems like they were able to. They lost the first game. Insert Name won that pretty handedly, but now the boys, they're looking really good on the ascent. This has been, like you said in the pregame, this is Levi's best map. And now we're seeing Governor wake up a little bit more as well, finding those opening entries. It seems like they haven't been shut out just yet. I'm wondering, though, Insert Name, they were really good about that adaptability and countering any maneuver that the boys could bring out. We haven't seen that yet. They're playing their own game, and it's not working.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They haven't really adapted to this because it's been A-site every round. They try to with the op for Yoshi, but that gravity well is so good. Max, they've done it every round, and Yoshi didn't really seem ready for it. He wanted to fight and to dash out, but he just wasn't fast enough. And I like the call here. They stop for a second, reset, wait, try and bait rotations away. Maybe they send Leviathan towards that B site to maybe get a pick of his own. But they also have the KJ lockdown and that Astral Divide as well.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that. We didn't see the Astral Divide once last time on Haven. It felt like we didn't really see a whole lot of Astral utility used in general, but now we're seeing it used a lot more. The knives up by Jenny. Tillo goes down. Able to take control of the site. 2 left alive for Insert Name. Reform kind of playing his own game. Still inside mid. The quick shot misses. No! They both miss. I was able to find the pity kill. Gov, are you good? You all right?
You good, man?
Okay. All right, that's okay.
It happens to the best of us. Tetra's there to fix the issues, and it absolutely has. It's all right because the team is there. Everyone's putting in their work, and Reformed, it's all over.
We've seen this happen twice now. Reformed and I believe Yoshi the previous round just kind of chilling in mid when the plant goes down. It seems like there's a bit of a communication issue, I would almost say, but they just don't go for the retake very fast.
Yeah, attack pause up for Insert Name here. Good time to do so. Because, I mean, they really need to fix this. 5 in a row on your defensive side, not even picking up a single one. That's a tough dig if we're going to talk about anything here. What's the solution, though? I mean, honestly, I'd love to see them just focus a little bit more utility on A. They tried to get aggressive that time, but the gravity well stopped it.
They have a Killjoy, Mimi. They have a Killjoy.
I mean, they've been playing it a couple times on the site. He just wasn't even able to do anything when he was there. I think it's because they're not just rushing in. Like, they're taking things slow. They're working the splits. It's not always just a whole W, but that's normally how it ends.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been seeing Tillo really peak up in A main at the beginning of each round as that KJ and still gets fried in the beginning. You don't have that utility to work with. Other times where they don't do that, I think they're playing on B and they have that utility there and it's proper placed, but it's just not effective.
Yeah, it really isn't. I like the way that Frosty plays Astra a lot. Like, just conditioning with his utility. Levi puts a dart up every round. I mean, just the fear factor of that could be a shock dart. That could be you dead to rights instantaneously. But talking about dead off the rip, Tetris taken care of. Tillo with this Sheriff trying to get a fight of his own. But again, so many entries found by the boys. They are not stopping. They are not relenting as they continue to push. Governor getting some chip damage. Now they're both getting sucked into the gravity well. And Gov finds a shot needed. Aqua, last man standing. Sheriff in his hands, one close in. This should be a freebie, and it will be, but the double peek out from the catwalk. 6 rounds already, Max.
Yeah, not a great showing at all for Insert Name. It seems like already the boys good for the first half. They've had a really strong prowess. They haven't changed a whole lot of their strategy either. They've just W-keyed all over A, and each and every single time, Mimi, Insert Name have not been able to find the solution at all, whether it be going fast, going slow, or a lot of the time we've been seeing too slow too. I'm really wondering maybe the attacker side will be ending up better for them because their defense has just been underwhelming.
I want them to play retake. I don't think they really have made a conceded effort to do it once. I mean, they also have the Hunter's Sphere. They have the lockdown available. They have everything they need. That actually looks like what the setup is for here. You see that KJ chilling out in the heavens. If this site goes down, they have all the utility they need to counter it out. But that's in no way a guaranteed round because the boys, they've shown that they are always dangerous here.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a whole lot of ult utility on both sides either so far in the first quarter. Double KJ ult still in hand. Run it back, of course. We have seen quite a bit of Governor already on top of Jenny. Tries to make their way to heaven. Fails to do so, but the Hunter's Fury coming out at once annihilates Renz. But have to see what happens next now. Heaven's been conceded. Plan tries to go underway. They have full control of the site again. The ult, though, the KJ one's going to be super effective here, potentially. But they have the Astra as well. Mimi, keep in mind, they have the ability to use the gravity wall to deny plants.
Yeah. Close plant utility is the name of the game. They're trapped in here close. The spray's up, tap on the spike, and Reform getting
for
3 in the round already. Tillo looking for this last frag. It's just a formality. What a response.
Absolutely. Finally, a point on the board for Insert Name. I really like that KJ ult. It forced everyone to whine. We saw Tillo get a 3K there, and it just showed how flawlessly they can play the retake when it goes successfully. But they had to rely on an ult to do that, and they won't have that probably for the rest of the half.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's so little, so late. Even if they 6-6 here, I think that's still a favorable half for the boys, right? Like, you're expecting to maybe get 4 or 5 rounds on your attacker side at half, and that's like, you're feeling all right. You're feeling like we win the pistol, we win the game. But this is already a great half. But the X factor to take a look after is Yoshi. Has the op up in hands, and, he was kind of a menace with this in the previous game. If he can do that again, get those shots hitting, get the boys fragging again, maybe we see Insert Name here start to pull something back together after all.
Yeah, look at this adaptability coming out from the boys now. They are going for that default play. They're playing a lot slower. They've realized, time has kind of gone into the sun. They don't want to put it down just yet, though. They want to take their time with it this time, enjoy it like a fine wine, but wine can only take you so far, it seems, if it's being refined, I suppose. But Governor on their way onto the site. No having control again. Governor's been really reluctant to go for heaven at all.
Yeah, he sneaks up here. Now they have the dart to fight out, but look at this. Great spam through the wall. He gets 1. Now this retake has advantage, Max.
That's right. Tetra down below in hell has the advantage, has the angles, but Aqua above is going to be the biggest factor. The Molly in hand is going to stop things a little bit longer. Reform trying to find the shots. Door opens up. They have to make their way in. They have to do it very quickly. These points matter now, Mimi, and they're already up a body, but look at this. It's going back and forth. No, it's not actually. The bodies are melting away for the attack. Ace Lane hasn't worked anymore. The secondary ult comes through, but they have to do it very quickly. They have no idea where it is. They have to make it go away. Bodies are flying back and forth. Worldwide with a double kill. Levi now last one alive. Oh, 2 to tame. That doesn't matter. Yoshi with the op. Like you mentioned, maybe bringing it back slowly, getting the sniper shot. It's going to give them 2.
Retake is the name of the game. Both rounds they've conceded themselves to playing that retake have worked out handily. And that's also that KJ ult invested for the boys. So now they have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. The go A every round strat, the iconic strat, unfortunately, isn't going to be working for them anymore. They have to make a change here. I like to see them work the mid control because the name of the game at this point is shutting down that op before it becomes too much of a nuisance. And I think that might have to be the job of Governor. He's not electing for an op of his own, but when you can have, oh no, he is. Okay, this is actually what I really wanted to see. Get Gov on the op, get that 1v1. Whoever wins this fight sets their team up up for success, but we aren't queued up for it immediately, as it is the default play up for the boys. That op, though, is holding towards B main, and they're reassessing. We might see that fight after all.
Oh, with a KJ util now all over A site on the defense. Could be an issue when there's only one body there. The door closes too. Everyone poking up on B long just a tiny bit more. The curveball gonna miss. Off versus off. Holy, it's like a samurai duel, but it looks like Governor not the winning side. It's gonna fall. A little underwhelming there, but now look at that. It's gonna force the rotate all the way to A, potentially.
Yeah, Levi, he's always on alert here looking for something. He saw the drone up there, but it's not going to net him too much information. Tillo's position known, but he doesn't have his teammates in yet, and he doesn't have his head. Tillo on the peak out, not a care in the world. He'll just retreat back to Dice, play off his utility as the dark cover continues to keep the boys at bay.
Oh, they're all stuck outside A main. They have that wine area to work with if they push up. Molly goes down, almost catches out Tillo, not quite enough. Oh, but they're holding these angles. They're playing such a patient game. The dedication to the turret means they probably will go for the side firewall. Molly in hand, they're rushing on in, but Tillo falls down. He didn't press last click. Aqua's able to find one, but the drop bodies are traded back and forth. Molly kill finds one, curveball goes down. Ren's able to hide away, finds the pop shot, but the up on top is going to be a huge issue. Are they going to go for the Vandal? They do. They pick up the Phantom. Might try to find that final KJ. In our corner doesn't last much longer. The defenders are bringing it back.
Yeah, really starting to bring it back now, 3 rounds in a row. It's all Yoshi on the op, starting things off on a successful note and ending it on a good one as well. That curveball missing in B main, that's one you're going to think about for a little bit longer there. Or the side of the boys, because not only is that one of your best players dying, it's also that $5,000 investment straight out of your pocket, really crippling that economy. And while they still have a buy up thanks to that massive momentum, this trust fund is starting to drip away. Economic woes on the other side if they don't find the solution. And this time, they're going back to the quick play as they reassess towards B, using the Cosmic Divide here to get in. And Levi has an entry.
Levi on the Odin, another duelist in hand. They're able to make B work, W key their way in, and they have full control of the Astro Wall. Tetra pushes up, able to find one wedged between. Reform falls, 2 left alive now. Governor has control of the site. Last 2 trying to go through mid. This is a small little hole. They have the wall to play with, but if Governor pushes up, they're able to find pop shots, but the Cloudburst is going to block their vision. It's going to allow more time. Molly stifling it just a tiny bit more. Governor pushes up, but Levi with the penetration shots. Yoshi finds one. And again, the hard counter it feels. 2 left alive now. Still biding their time. We haven't seen too many paranoias come up from Worldwide. He brings out one, not going to connect. Able to find one, makes it a trade. But Yoshi with the knives, able to find another, but traded out yet again.
Another great post plant there up from the boys. I like the call there. Just reset. Make it quick. Let your team do what they must. And I think that's the Astra pick also coming into play, because we haven't seen Astra yet out of insert name here, but the boys have been using it really well. Props especially there to Frosty. He may not be having the biggest frags, but he has set his team up for success so many times. I think his wall there won them around. We've seen the gravity wells consistently working to condition the same main push. That's why they found so much success early on here. And now they've won the half already, Max, up 7-3 as we enter the late throes of these last 2 rounds.
I'm really curious to know why we see the boys really go for A so many times. They have Levi on the Odin. We saw Aqua get melted down last round, and that was really the only defense they had. Now there is Yoshi on the B main push, though. That could be another reason why. But this defaulty play, always leaning towards A. It's going to be Tillo at the very top of heaven, though. Turret could be activated. Cloudburst is going to go underway, hiding Governor a tiny bit more. They probably know they've already pushed up. Find the turret go down. Patillo, can they find the pop shots? Maybe, maybe not. They know one's in hell now, but have to bide their time. Tetra's able to open the seal for the round, finding one. Governor down below. Try to find another. But they're biding their time, meaning they're waiting to see what's going to happen next. 50 seconds left. The plant's going to go underway. The door's going to open up, and Tetra finds the line of fire. Yoshi's able to find one. Trades galore. And now a 3v3, 2 ults to work with. We're coming to the end of the first half. They have to use them soon. Aqua with the double kill is going to send it away. It's down to Tillo again in the middle of the whole site. Not for much longer, though.
Great cleanup there from Renz, finding so much impact. They didn't even have to use the ults. They had both the KJ lockdown and that Hunter's Fury available, but what going B that one round did was it pulled the op away. The op wasn't there early on. That allowed them onto the site, and with no KJ lockdown to fall back on, without that kind of crutch that we saw them use once, they weren't able to do it in the retake. And now it's 8-3 score line. They need at least an 8-4 if I want to kind of give them a good chance at this, because if you go down 9-3 on your defensive side of Ascent, that just looks so grim, especially with how good the boys have been on these pistol rounds.
But Yoshi's holding this op angle again, the pop. Might see a pop coming out from the op. It's like a rhyming book. But unfortunately, no success coming out from there just yet. Everyone's biding their time on the boys. They're playing it slow again, and these kinds of rounds always make me nervous, especially with Tilla being able to find one of the stragglers, make that 2 now going down. It's only going to be the P push that's left alive, but Yoshi's able to find the pop-up, come out now, but misses the second one. The gravity well's going to trap them, and they're not barely able to escape. Wow! Okay, Tetra being able to find the clay pigeon out of the sky is going to make it work. But suddenly, your entire attack's been neutered. You're down to a single smoke. You're down to a single duelist. Coming in from all different angles, still pushing up, realizing it's too little too late. Spike goes down. It's a 1v4.
Good try. Got it a bit closer there. That is the 4-8 half that we wanted to see up. So insert name here. They're not feeling confident. They're not really feeling comfortable, but they're feeling like they have a better chance in this. If they win the pistol round, convert into it, and start the momentum rolling, that's going to be big. Because I don't know how much you agree with me here, Max, but I think this comp does favor a little bit that attacker side. The way they've been using this Astra has been very aggressive. It's kind of allowed them to set up in those post plants to get early picks, and I don't know how well that'll convert on Ascent into this, but we know how much this kind of duo of Gub and Tetra love to make plays, get aggressive, and I expect we'll see that again as they're early on towards A main with the support of at least 3 stars.
I don't think it's the end-all be-all to see this comp on defense. I am a little worried, though, that we are seeing the 4-8 scoreline. The Astra, again, I'm the most curious about. We didn't see much of an Astra play come out on Haven. We are seeing a little bit more on Ascent. They do seem to be a little bit more precise lineups here. We're worried to see whether or not the insert name's able to make it work going down on A main, but it looks like the answer might be no. Tetra's able to find Reformed. This is already such a strong opening for the defense.
Yeah, it really is. They lose a man. They can exchange that for some mid control, but they have to concede that again. Tello forced back towards his team. They play together here. Looks like the finish. The call will be for that A split, but there's a player position in line. That's Governor. And Tetra's here to bait in for his teammate, set him up for success. The Nebulas continue to sell that story as the execute comes out. However, look, Max, the Astra utility continues to stall them. The gravity well keeps him out, but now the go call is in.
Oh, but that Molly's going to stall things out as well. They try to bring their way forwards. It's a reversal coming on by. Tetra and Governor able to find 2. Duelists in hand, able to find some more. But Yoshi's a single duelist, finding both. Now, 2 left alive. It's a 2v2. It's a standard cowboy showdown. Undercover smoke's going to go away. One on top of heaven, breaking open the door. Almost having full control. It's almost neutralized. No one has real control over the site, though they do want to push the single one. Almost able to find the shots. Tillo's able to find the imposter. Renz goes down. Levi, last one alive, has to make it work. This could be the redemption. This could be the chance insert name needs. They're able to find almost one. Yoshi finds a triple, and they're able to find another point.
I don't know how they pulled that out of the bag. All the utility was set up perfectly. Everything was in the right place for the boys to win that round, but they just didn't have crossfires. They didn't have the trades. They allowed these duels to get isolated. We see it in the replay that Yoshi, he could just be a turret, turn around, isolate these duels one at a time, fight through the smoke, dark cover, no issue for the man and his jet, as it's now just a 3-round gap, and this is when the boys start to get nervous, because this is probably one that we're gonna assume insert name here can win, as they do have a much superior buy. However, don't ever count the boys out completely. They always have a shot in things, especially as Governor's getting a little bit sneaky beaky into the corner here in Wine. But I mean, look what the team is. Everyone's towards mid. They're making a gamble, and this is not the right call. The odds against them.
So many smokes going down on the side of oh wow. My brain is dead from A long. But look at this though. Governor again still hiding inside Wine. It's a hard spot to be in, because I don't know if they were revealed last time when they found that pinch, but now it seems like uncontested as of yet. No utility, never mind. Reform's able to find Governor instead. Having to rotate around, no. It's been a fractured call. Do they take over A? The answer seems to be yes. But where are the defenders going? They're chasing over a single KJ. They gave up both control of sites.
They've lost these rounds before. I don't want to see it happen again because they really need this to try and come back into the game. And no, this is falling apart for the boys. The pistols seem to be doing it as they found multiple. Levi for one. Ren's now on the cat looking for another, and Yoshi's out of bullets. Now a 2v2. Spike down, post positioning. This should be insert names round, but now it's very, very risky, Max, as the drone initiates the retake, and they're starting to come up into it. Dart back, one up top, that's worldwide, and the shock dart does it to close.
It's only a 2-point differential now, Mimi. We've seen a huge comeback coming out from insert name side, and it wasn't looking good for them early on. They were only able to string together rounds at the end of the first half, and it's a very similar story to what we had seen on Haven, but the sides reversed. Now we have to see if they can pull it back again. We do see the Blade Storm coming out from the Jet. I'm wondering, though, if that's going to be enough. It's going to be good economically if they bring it out now, but are they going to maintain that? The answer seems to be yes. Only a pistol in hand. It seems like they're going to use that early leverage. And look at all the stars being brought out on A already. They're trying to stall this out as much as they can, but it seems like both teams just love to go for A.
Yeah, this buy's a little bit scuffed. Yoshi does have his blades. They have at least kind of one hero rifle. We see one player conditioning towards that B site, working on kind of a lurk play, and he might even get a frag here, but the gravity well, that's so perfect. The coordination is on point for the boys.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of synergy coming out from them. They're able to make it work. A lot of damage being brought out on Levi, though. He has to relegate himself a little bit backwards from here on out, but we have to see what Aqua can bring up next. He's still on side of A, waiting around. May try to push on forwards. Governor waiting on the other side. Tries to go for the pinch. Doesn't quite work out. There's going to be two, though. Information's pertinent. But everyone else on side of A, they're going to go for the full execute. Are they able to make it work? One trying to rotate around on CT side. Renz holding down the fourth, going for the sprays. Trying to avoid the Jet. Doesn't want to go into that mess just yet. They could just allow Insert Name to go for the plant and just take over from here. They have the advantage.
They do have that in their favor. This one's so crucial on the retake. Man advantage found. They just need to play this trade game, and this recon dart should be the first point of contact, but no, Levi falls. Now Yoshi in a big position here for one. His teammates chiming in, but he whiffs the shots. Now the Odin picked up for Frosty. He's carrying on. Levi's legacy is worldwide, pinged out behind the box. Yoshi still in support with the classic, looking for one here through the cloudburst. He spots out the barrel of the Odin, and the right click does it, even recovers it. A thief through the smoke, but Tetra finds one before he too is felled. Insert name here. They're starting to make a case for this 2-0.
Suddenly, this game got a lot closer, Mimi. We're seeing a lot more aggression coming out from Insert Name. They're crafty in the beginning. They play it slow. Then they reel it back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're in control of the pace again. It feels like we're back to the old boys. I thought that they had changed this, that they were ready to take control of the game, be set up in this kind of defense in the default where they can feel a little more comfortable. But they've lost all that kind of swagger that we saw from them. They're playing a lot more passive now. They're playing isolated, and they still have this advantage, but they're just on to sheriffs.
Oh,
okay, maybe
Yoshi.
that doesn't matter.
The Governor has the mini op. He has the mini op, and he's able to find Yoshi. A great revenge kill coming through, but it's not going to be too much longer until Yoshi picks up that op again, and usually that's where the supremacy starts. But here we go, though. We are watching a bit of a stall on A yet again. We've seen this so many times between the two duelists on the boys' side. They're able to stall it out more. Gravity Well is going to make sure they don't push forwards, but they usually execute from A. I'm not sure if they're going to rotate.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, that Molly's so great. Almost even converts the kill onto Reform, down to 45 HP. Any damage they do here is perfect. A round win would be the dream of the boys. And look at this. They're three strong towards the catwalk. Tillo in for a treat.
Oh, the defense is so fractured. Look at these rotates. Double, well, almost a double kill comes down, but not quite enough to confirm it. Tetra with the Sheriff's able to find Tillo instead. A little bit less utility to use on the attacking side. Again, a kind of a fractured defense. One rotating towards B. Have to wonder what's going to happen next because they're going to go for A again on Insert Name side.
Yeah, it's a retake call. Levi has his shocks, though, so they have utility to work with here, but they need to work together. They can't let these duelists be isolated.
Oh, but they're splitting up themselves. Reform with the run it back, heading on towards Has Glass, maybe almost able to find the Sova, gets the intel instead. Though, 13 seconds left, that plant needs to go under. They're struggling to do so. The shock darts are stalling it just in time. Another kill comes down. Levi with a double.
Oh my God.
Triple, no less. The Cowboys back again. And the
Levi
boys,
doesn't even need his Odin, man. The Sheriff will do a thrifty round out of nowhere for the boys to pull back into favor there. I mean, insert name here just took too long, man. Like they were just sitting in main, not really doing much. They were hoping for a push, but why would the boys push? Holding an angle in like the late throws of the round, that's when the Sheriff is so dangerous. When you're pushing a site at 15 seconds, does it even matter what guns the opponents have? Because one guy in a rat corner can end your whole career, and Levi doesn't even need an angle. He doesn't even need to see you, because through the wall, he's a menace, and we'll see it again with the Soden spam off the rip in main.
Oh, I feel like we're seeing the boys' side in full fruition now. This is the real test to see whether or not they can bring it back to map number 3. Answer so far seems to be no as of now. We are seeing some shots coming on by Tetra. Trying to go for the pop shots, not going to connect. Aqua, though, is able to find Governor, which will be huge. But no, they're falling apart. The op is gone. They still have the Odin on Levi's side, but it seems like the Odin's doing less and less effectiveness. There's only 2 left now for the boys, and their defense fractured again. They have to save. There's no choice.
Yeah, and they'll probably hunt this too. I have a feeling they will. They're feeling confident. They might just go for it. Why the hell not? When you have this advantage, you need to keep your opponents down off that high horse. Keep them from building anything. And also, now Levi's position is known here with that alarm putt. We'll see if they go for this in the end. But what happened in main there? It looked like they were set up for a trade, but instead of being ready for the trade potential, they just peeked in one at a time. It was like the 1v1 duels that were practically given over for free. And, well, insert name here, they're not going to make that a fair fight. They're going to double peek you. They're going to take the fight, and you need to be doing the same back to them. So, really, this is a punishing round for the boys to lose, and they need to fix these mistakes, because in a game that's so close, when teams are so evenly matched, little mistakes like that can really cost you everything, especially in the grand finals here.
Yeah, and the boys, they may still have that lead, not by much. It's only a round, but they're down to a whole map. They cannot save anymore. They really cannot. Governor now, pistol in hand, can't even go for the ult. Oh no, I'm sorry. They can go for the ult now, but it makes me so wary, because they just gave up the up without finding a pick. They do go for the Vandal. I think this is a smarter choice than the knives.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the buy up. Next round will be an eco if they can't chain things together. This A site is a matter that's so difficult, because it always seems to be the finish, but look at, no one's fighting mid control either. They just have the alarm bot, and other than that, have completely conceded space. Everything that insert name wants, they're getting right now.
There is one playing inside of mid. It's going to be worldwide, but no one's contesting. We haven't seen a single mid fight the entire game.
Yeah, Tillo does have an entry this time, so it's a good opener for the boys to work with. Now he'll use that ult, but this looks like it's going to be a fake, and it is drawing the rotations max, so they could be able to sneak onto a free A site here. My question is that KJ bot still active towards A? We see it on the minimap in tree there, and this fake being sold well, or I'm sorry, sold rather well, but now rotations coming back in. It has to be a brawl for this round.
Yeah, this is going to be a punishing round for both teams. Economic damage is the name of the game, but the boys, if you're on their side, you need to get double digits right now. Governor trying to hold down Heaven, tries to do so, able to find one with the Vandal, make it 2, double across. But there's still one down below inside Hell to worry about. It's going to be their big opponent themselves. It's going to be Yoshi. Yoshi's able to find it instead, though. A little bit more for the defense. One left alive, though, for insert name. This is an important round. Yoshi's still trying to stay alive. A 1v3 could be punished heavily by so many different ults, but all it takes is an AK.
That's the Governor we know, finding a huge impact finally, getting that double. His teammate on the Astra, Frosty times in for 2 of his own. The boys find footing up to 2 rounds. They also have got some ults in their back pocket, and I think that the call was really nice from insert name. Fake things out with the ult, but where they went wrong was that there was still KJ utility. That gave the game away before they were ready for that information to be given. So the retake, very swift from the boys, and they worked well to actually play pretty well together, play pretty coordinated, pick up the round, and find that double-digit scoreline. That's so crucial if they want to take us to 3.
I feel like both teams are also suffering from a lack of coordination a little bit. We're seeing these early rotates come through both times on the defense. We're seeing the attackers go for what I think is kind of a hesitant attack on A every single round. It's making me nervous all around, Mimi.
I mean, obviously they're both pug mixes. We don't expect them to be running strats. They'll try their best to call as a team and to work together. They've been playing together all day in this specific 5, but we're never going to expect to see huge amounts of coordination out. We've seen cool moments, especially with how they're working off the Astra, the paranoias. sometimes, but you'll always see those mistakes happen. It's kind of what you expect with a
Oh,
lot of the teams we see here in VSS, but Levi trying to get some damage through that dark cover here. Again, Max, they have practically full mid control, and it seems like this isn't really well known to the boys. Like, yeah, the dark cover suggests it's a possibility, but there's so much space taken and no punish on it yet.
and we haven't seen a mid take at all from either team so far. It's been 19 rounds, and this is the first glimpse of it we've seen. And they're not even going to go for it. They have a little bit of pressure there. Dark cover is going to stall out Levi a little bit more. But they're going to go for tree again. The mollies come underway. Renz knows what's up. He's going to hide away a little bit more. But these double mollies. Oh, he's going to save one, though. Does have the lockdown. Could try to use it here. Bait them into A side. Go for it. Stall them all back. We saw that happen before. Is that the way to go? Perhaps. With the plant going underway, Yoshi's able to find Governor yet again. It's going to be full control for the attackers onto the site. Fireball goes under. Levi trying to push through. Doesn't find any shots on the Odin. 2 inside Hell. With the Hunter's Fury coming on by. Could try to destroy maybe some of the lives on the other side. But no, they can't find any work. Levi, though. Odin in hand. Not able to make it work for much longer. Trades galore, it seems. Reformed. The attacker's able to find the advantage, though. Till's going to find another one. And this Astro's going to fall. Things are getting closer.
A lot invested into that round. They wanted to play the retake with the KJ ult, but they weren't able to ever bait out that Hunter's Fury used to nullify it. They wanted to push in the chaos, weren't able to get the picks necessary. Now, 1 round gap yet again in the boys. This is a difficult decision whether to buy here. Some players can muster the rifles, but most can't. I'm guessing they're just going to make sure they have money in the bank for next round, but look at the last couple of rounds. Yeah, the boys have picked up a couple, but it's been kind of a spotty back and forth, and when you're just trading rounds like that, that means that your loss bonus is being reset every time. So they're not sitting with great money whatsoever. They're not feeling comfortable. And now Hunter's Fury starts us off into this one as Gov's looking for something with these knives.
Oh, look at this aggression coming out here. Governor not checking that box. They just poked out of nowhere. It's like whack-a-mole. And Aqua finding a very important opening pick. Takes down one of the key duelists, though. It's going to be up to Tetra now to really put the... Well... was gonna be up to putting the brunt of the work in, but it seems like now everyone just getting their way onto the site. Levi, the only one that bought out, has the Odin for the round, able to melt down this door very quickly. A minute left, though. Things are not looking good, really, for the boys here. This could be tied.
It could be. They really don't have a whole ton of choice of whether to go for this or not. They need to shut down this economy just a little bit. Try and get some frags into this round. Odin spamming away, checking every corner. He uses a setup for Renz with the Sheriff. I mean, you probably just bait the KJ here. Go for exit, see what you can work with it. Position well known. Now the flank stop from Tillo. Good for one. Has a second in hand as well. It's tied up on the score line. Yeah, it's an anti-eco, but I mean, insert name here, they all pushed on their own. They all won their individual duels. It doesn't even feel like a default because, I mean, yeah, it is like that default spread, but it's not even for map control. It's just let's all peek a different angle, win our duels. And when you're losing rounds like that for the boys, that's a little bit scary because that's just a confidence play, really.
True, I completely agree. I'm hoping to see a little bit more... I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. We saw a lot of brash, very, very tough decision making that last round, just pushing up. They knew they weren't going to win that round. But even Governor, he used his ult and found nothing at the beginning of that round. So a bit of a weird utility usage there, I would say.
Levi used his too.
That's true. But Levi won the round. Oh, wait, no, excuse me.
No, he
didn't.
lost it. That's a huge ult to lose too, because look, there's a KJ lockdown up, and they have nothing to nullify that now.
Oh, but Tetra playing inside mid, caught it out early on. Worldwide goes down, goes for the molly. Might be able to find the return molly, but no! Pushes forward straight to a dome to the head. It's a 10-10 though. Frosty dialing it back. Does have those Astra Stars to play around with. Does have the smoke, but it looks like it's going to all feed directly into B.
Levi here with his trusty Odin. Could be good for some spam damage. His drone already used, so unless he decides to dart here off pure suspicion, he'll have no idea. Now there comes the lockdown. Again, there's no Hunter's Fury here, just one dart. They have nothing to do to get rid of this unless Levi pushes, peeks, looks for one on the fight, but he has to fall away. I think he even gets detained here as Governor falls.
There's only 30 seconds left. Oh, detained. Levi hiding to minimize himself into a corner. Might be able to stall things out just enough to be able to regain composure. Frosty, though, in the cloudburst, not able to find any. Aqua goes down as well. It's all down to Tillo. This is so rough. Ben's inside of Renz, like my cat, inside of mid. I think they might have to go for the save. It's a 1v4, Mimi. There's not a lot you can really do here. And they're, for the first time, going to relinquish the lead. But it might not be too late just yet. They're going to go for it. The turret spotting them out. It's going to be the whole torrent, though. Insert name here. Reformed with a 3K, finding it.
That Hunter's Fury that they used in the eco round was so punishing. Maybe we could have seen a different outcome if they could shut that ult down. Not to be, though. 11 to 10 now. Like you said, the lead is lost. They're on an eco round. Max, this is likely match point. Remember the half? It was an 8-4 half on their defensive side. Like, they were looking good there. They looked so likely to win it, but they can't seem to defend a site for the life of them. And it's proving so punishing. It's kind of sad to watch because they've just struggled to adjust this so much. And props to insert name here because they're throwing so many of these experienced players for a loop. And now this is starting to get towards the end times. A dangerous situation as Renz hides his way, bides his time, and the push is up.
Oh no, but just the sheriff in hand. Yoshi doing what Governor couldn't. Able to get onto the heaven side, able to find one and goes down. Now more sheriffs in hand, trying to find some cowboy action. Takes down the knife wielder. Renz though, trying to find two. Can't find it versus the Phantom. Oh no, this is looking like it's gonna be match point. Trades galore, battlefield underway. These attackers coming up on top. It's down to Governor now. Last one alive, mini op in hand, misses all the shots. Reformed 2 rounds in a row with 3.
Match point now. Boys, they had every advantage, and now they're on the brink of being knocked down out of contention for the lion's share of that $1,000 prize pool for the title of Grand Champion. Here in VSS 51, the stakes so high in this one. What do we have to work with? I'll run it back on both sides. If you're the boys, what's the call? They still have attack pause. They could use it here if they want to. But as the time ticks towards the round, it doesn't look like they will. Where's the push? It's a split again. Insert name here. I mean, they don't even have to take it quickly. They take it slow. The boys, they're bleeding. They just need to finish the job, finish the kill.
Oh, I do like what Tetra's doing here, trying to find maybe some action up on top. Tillo, though, in the blind angle, peeking up a little bit more, knows by the Sova drone, goes for the run it back, does find Tillo. That's going to be a good start for the boys, but we haven't really seen much of a KJ usage from either team this game. It's great to find bodies. Reform's able to find one to trade things out.
Oh my
but
god,
it's
that
just
combo.
Trade Central. Okay, you know what? I'm eating my words.
That combo is so cool. Gravity well straight into a molly. Nothing he could do, but now Yoshi, there's nothing left to contend with him. The utility already used, and they'll find the site, but there is an ult available. Unless there's shock darts in play, they're not going to be able to really nullify that, and the shock darts are already used, so not a factor. Yoshi looking for a fight, but loses it out to Renz.
Renz?
No,
Holy.
the rest of these players are forced away. 44 seconds to work with, though.
You have to wonder what you're going to do now. You have the person disadvantage. There is that KJ ult on the side of the boys. You have to time that one perfectly, though, if they want to make it work. There is no Hunter's Fury. Like you said, maybe no shock darts to use to break it. But if it goes too early or it goes too late, it could be a perfect time for the boys to take it. Oh, I'm sorry. It's what?
Worldwide's not here. I think he DC'd.
Oh, no.
So man down. Aqua has to make this clutch possible if he wants to close it out here, and it looks like he's going for it in the 1v3.
Oh, he's got the replug in his Ethernet here. They know this round might be a little chalk. 13 seconds left. Still going to go for the plant. Luckily, though, the Omen didn't hold on to it. 9 seconds left, though. Odin in hand. It's a 1v3. Oh, no, it's like a KJO permanently used against this Omen. There's nothing you can do. The plate goes down, but they have to relinquish it away. But they were able to use the KJO. That could be great for insert name for the next few rounds.
Perfect. Round's over. This is a lost one, but I think that's actually what he was going for there. Just push up, bait up the ult, because now it's not available into this next round. A crucial factor to keep in mind as we inch closer to that possibility of overtime. One round away for the boys to bring it back into fruition, and that's a nice little execution there for Tetra to get a little more money in the bank, a little more shot in that. We will go into this tech pause as we wait for Worldwide to get back before that final round of regulation. 24 on the board.
Yeah, that's going to be so rough. We've seen an incredible comeback from insert name. They won map 1. They were down pretty bad going into the second half of this match, and they brought it back into a lead into match point. But now, going for a 4v5, Mimi, we know how that goes. That's not usually a pretty fight.
No, it's not going to be. I expect we'll just wait for him to get back into things. Not sure the nature of the issue. I think he's just going to repause at 10. Yep, it will. So we're on standby, but overall, what are the implications of what we've seen thus far? It feels like what the boys have really struggled with is kind of coordination when they don't get to play retake. When they can control the retake, when they can kind of choose when to take fights, where to take them, they oftentimes win. But when insert name here catches them off guard and is just so aggressive, they're very good at creating that space and finding those entries.
Absolutely, Mimi. And I really do think catching them off guard has been the name of the game. We haven't really seen much Sentinel utility from either side. Of course, when I said that last round, we did see Renz with a Molly play, which was fantastic to see. But now using both ults, they don't have either to work with here. In fact, neither one of them are close to bringing it back. They might be able to for overtime here, but assuming the Sentinels can't bring it out for this next round, or any utility really, and the rotates are strong, it's going to go largely in the favor of insert name here if Worldwide can come back. They have the Omen ult too.
Yeah, and when we talk about the retake, there's also that cosmic divide in play. They've used this a couple times now, and I don't think we didn't see too much success on it from Haven, but we've seen it used twice where I think it actually won rounds. One on attack, I recall they walled off B for a quick push there, and a second one as of late on a retake where they kind of walled off A main that it was also working pretty stellar to find their pacing. Yep, delicious little meal there.
I completely cut off your train of thought. I'm so sorry. I mean,
you're like a golden retriever or something. You just like see the fish and just can't help but just like, fish. What's going on the screen?
Hey, I mean, that's like my whole job, right? You know, I mean, you pointed out the DC'd Omen. That was gnarly. But man, I hope Worldwide comes back, because you know the implications too. If Worldwide doesn't come back, we could very well see map 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge chance. We'll give them the time to come back in, though, so I don't think we should be getting too worried yet. I feel like every time I see like Ascent for one of these tech pauses, there's always something like new and creative found. There's like 15 bears on the map. There's like some pile of fishes hidden. I know they like did like the Valentine's Day Easter eggs. I love all the little things that get slotted in.
I swear they removed stuff too. I mean, the Valentine's Day letters they removed, but like on Icebox too.
Oh, I guess we probably see it on the table right there.
Oh, do we?
We would if they still existed. I think they're gone.
This is a really unique view. Like it's disorienting. Like, where am I? I mean, I would hate to live in this city. Look, that would be my room, destroyed completely. Now, what is this? Oh, is this a gondola? This is in Venice, so it does make sense. But there's no rivers anymore.
Yeah.
Near Venice.
Air Venice.
Air Venice, that's right. You know, the lore says that Jet feels guilty and responsible for this event, but we don't know what happened.
Damn. That's tough. Tough dig of things. Oh, I think we get to see this in a second, but look at the little table here. This is so lovely. They have bread all set up. Perfect. I mean, who eats bread like that, though? Like, you're really going to put a butcher knife in there? Like, that little bear, I mean, he's vicious, man. Like, pulling that out for, like, your dinner date?
I mean, that's one way to like really, you know, be the alpha there. Oh, but look at the little knife too. Oh, that's adorable. What animal is that though?
I don't know.
Is it a whale? It's a bunny. Oh, that's adorable. And there's there's a worm in the background, Mr. Worm. There's a squirrel. Maybe they're on a date too. Maybe... Oh, he's back. He's back.
The real Mr. Worldwide.
He's on his date now. He's gonna go see Mr. Worm.
I feel like my brain just realized that his name is Mr. Worldwide. The real Pitbull. He's back in the lobby, ready to hop back into things. We'll refocus ourselves because it's match point, final round of regulation. The 24th is what it's going to take to separate these teams in map 2. Insert name. They look primed. 1 round away from closing this 2-0, becoming the grand champs here for VSS 51. But the boys, they want to keep going. They want to come back stronger, take us to overtime, and take us to split. Have their chance at thing. Did we lie? Are we not starting? I was really trying to get ready for it.
Did he re-DC? Oh, no, he's still moving. Did someone else DC?
Okay, we're back. It's time for real.
I mean, we've already said the spiel. We have to see what happens now. Final point potentially of the entire series, or we go to overtime. Only so many options left on the board here, but we do see a bit of a default play in hand, mostly focused towards mid. Levi, though, poking out with that Odin. It's a bit of an interesting push here. be a little concerned having Odin at that long of a range, but he feels sufficient at it, though. It's going to be the recon bolt detecting one. Reform going to jump down, maybe trying to find the pinch, but Levi, he is going to go back to his familiar territory.
Yeah, tucked in here, they have a lot of mid control to work with. They've gotten this consistently in many a round. Normally, they do reaggress, end in an A split here, but that might also be something the boys can read. They can think about that as a possibility, but no, this time B is the target. However, both Levi and the Killjoy are here on standby. Renz has been having a banger of a game. This might be another chance for him to show us his prowess, show us his chance. Oh, poor turret.
Oh no, it didn't live very long. That recon bolt could be huge though. Pushing onto the side, Reform is going to take advantage of Levi and their utility. The molly comes down too late. Yoshi pushing up here, might be able to find Renz. They're off the barrel.
No.
They heard the auto cue. Yoshi pushes up and finds it instead. 30 seconds left. 3 left alive. It's all for all the marbles. VCS 51 and relies on the last 3 alive to bring it back. But it looks like Tetra's stuck inside Marketplace. Not sure if the door has closed just yet. Yoshi, though, almost trying to find another Governor, but it matters most. Finds Yoshi again, getting the redemption kill, but it doesn't matter when one's left alive. It's down to Frosty. Astra, the last one alive, tries to find maybe another. Could it be a double? Surrounded by the enemy. They know approximately where she's at. Left, right, all the different directions. Can't claim it. It's going to be 51 going to insert name here. Beautiful work for them this week.
Fantastic showing up from them. They seem to just have complete control of that match despite going down so heavily on the side there. They still came back even stronger. And I mean, looking at the scoreboard, I think you can see why, because Reformed and Yoshi, they were doing so much into that entry, 25, 22 frags respectively. The rest of the team, well, they maybe didn't have quite as many kills. The support elements were always there. And I did like what we saw from their opponents. I liked what we saw out from this other team trying things out there, especially Aster plays for Frosty. I thought were really cool. I thought it was a great attempt, but unfortunately they fall short in the closest of margins. And it will be that 2-0. I think we have to get their full team name in. I have to pull it up again. We got to give them the respect for finishing it off. Congratulations to Asdunwan and Vawad Nahuva Awad Devo on your win in VSS 51. It's the lion's share of that $1,000 prize pool going your way. And speaking of the impact player there, it's Yoshi, 246 on the ACS. He's your HyperX MVP.
I mean, Yoshi, there wasn't a single map that we saw from them where they underperformed. Taking down Governor, the big stall factor. Having off versus off, Governor could not get around it no matter what they tried. And Yoshi getting some really crazy kills. We freaked out on some of them, especially on Haven's side. Slowed down a little bit, mostly focused on the rifles on Ascent, but still made it work.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that he did so much, especially on the opping that you bring up. That was one of the huge factors, but the team overall just played really well. Their play style was so explosive. It was just too quick for there to really be a counter. They always had control of the pacing. They always had the rounds in their favor, and the only time that there was kind of a way back in was on those retakes, but that's not always available. That's not always your option, and they will take the title.
Absolutely. They did a fantastic job, and it's been a fantastic week 51 coming out from the Vanguard Championship Series. And it's been fun casting the grand finals. And of course, if you want to see more of us and the Meg combo, I guess that we're now called, you can always find us on Twitter as well. Mine's at KekelNeck. She's at EvilCat. You should be able to check us out, and we'll be doing a lot more of these hopefully fun events much more often. And of course, got to thank the production, the other casters who have casted before us as well at the VCS. And we cannot wait to see you guys for week 52, one full year's worth, I suppose, in weeks of VCS for Valorant. We'll see you next time.